What's up, my friends? John Levesque here. Today I'm doing another tutorial. We are going to do unlocking ChatGPT, every power feature that you've been missing. I'm not going to waste any time. I'll just tell you, go ahead and check the description. There'll be some links down there. There'll be some timestamps down there. It'll all help you find all the information you are looking for. Let's go ahead and jump in. I'm going to change over to my screen and we'll get started. Okay, so I am here on the ChatGPT screen. Couple things to call out. I have the Plus plan. You can see it right here in the top right corner, the $20 a month plan. So I have access to models, I have access to projects, I have access to a couple features over here on the left-hand side that we will get to in a little while. But I just wanted to get that out of the way so that if you're on the free plan, you're not wondering why we're seeing different things. Now, there's also a Pro plan. If you have that, you're going to have more than me. We'll talk about that in a future episode. But today, let's go ahead and jump in and start talking about all the features of ChatGPT. First one, let's talk about models and voice input. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and grab a prompt that I have pre-prepared over on another screen, and I'm going to bring it here, and I'm going to say this. I want it to give me a comparison between 3.5 and 4, and let's go ahead and let it tell us about those two different models. So you can see it's going ahead, jumping right into the task and telling us, what is 3.5 better at? Well, honestly, saving money. If you have simple tasks that are repetitive, that don't require a lot of complex thought, 3.5 is going to handle it great. But now, if you're talking about 4, which one's going to be better? Well, category creation framework, that one is actually very, very relevant to me. So what you're seeing here actually is GPT giving me an answer that is extremely specific to the things that I have been talking to it about. So what'll be fun is if you try this prompt, I bet you're going to get different results. So why is 4.0 better? I mean, we all know 4.0 is better. Why is it better? Well, it's got nuanced tone. It can handle structured data. It creates things that sound like you, and it keeps track of memory context, right? And so here we go. Why are you going to use each one? All right, so now we've seen what the models are. We know we have the picker over here. Let's go ahead and show you the voice mode really fast. Let's go ahead and do everything moving forward using the GPT 4.0 model.
You got it. We'll stick with GPT 4.0 from here on out. It's like having that strategic advisor right by your side. So what project do you have in mind? Let's dive in and make some magic happen.
Okay, and so you can see here that the voice assistant sounds supernatural, is very, very lifelike, and gives you a whole different element of how to interact with ChatGPT. A lot of times when I'm just brainstorming or thinking of things to do or trying to take notes, I'll just punch on the voice mode while I'm in the middle of things, drop some things here, and then the cool part is I'll go ahead and stop talking for a second, she'll respond, and then I'll show you the neatest part about this voice mode conversation.
I love that approach. It's like having a brainstorming buddy on standby. The voice mode definitely adds that spontaneous conversational feel, which makes it super easy to just throw ideas out there. And the best part is that everything gets saved, so you can always come back and pick up where you left off. It really does add a new dimension to the whole experience.
Okay, so now we end the voice mode, right? And then check this out. Everything that I said gets tracked. Everything the GPT model said gets tracked. Look, it's all there. It's all there. So now it all lives in memory, which is the next feature that I want to talk about. So I'm going to go ahead and grab another prompt, and we're going to talk about the memory real fast. Now, this one is going to be interesting because I've been using ChatGPT for 2 years. Its memory on me is massive and probably pretty scary. So next prompt is, I want you to remember that I prefer a casual but professional tone, that I'm building an AI... No. It's not an AI travel brand. I am building a human-centered travel brand called Seek, and that I often teach or create content around tech tools. Remember this for future chats, okay? Watch this now. See these couple dots? See how there was 3 dots there? Look at updated, saved memory. John prefers a casual but professional tone. He's building a human-centered travel brand called Seek and often teaches or creates content around tech tools. See that? It knows. Great. I'll keep the tone dialed in and always consider Seek in your content work. See that? Pretty interesting, right? Now, let's go ahead and ask it the next piece of memory prompt here. And let's say, well, what else do you remember about me? And how do I edit or delete memories? Hey, these are some funny ones. Wow. Okay. So it knows a lot, right? And so I'm not going to go ahead and actually display everything that it knows about me because it knows a ton, as you can see. Now, for some people, again, this could be scary. For me to put this out in front of like millions of people, possibly, that's a little scary because that's a lot of information, right? Even right there, you see like my hometown and my name, like that's a decent amount of information. But what's really cool about this is when I use this in my own practice, in my own privacy, it is so useful that the AI can pull relevancy, right? It has so much context about me that when it provides me answers and information, it knows exactly how to shape it to best suit my needs. And honestly, I allow it more and more and more to understand me. And so it gets better and better and better. All right, and so now I'm going to start a new chat here, and the next feature we're going to talk about is custom GPTs. And custom GPTs are essentially a ChatGPT version that is specialized, has a strict set of instructions to only do certain things. And so I crafted this prompt, and let's see actually, because I'm not actually 100% sure if this will work. But let's see. Open the Explore GPTs tab and show me one for productivity, one for marketing, and one just for creativity. Okay, so it's going to give me a few suggestions. It can't pull the tab open automatically. Okay, fair enough. So second brain is the first one. And so let's go ahead and open the Explore GPT tab and let's search for second brain. Second brain, right here. Okay, oh, and here's another one. Second brain GPT, this one. This one's probably the one it wants. 1,000 plus users here. 1,000 conversations. Okay, so let's go ahead and start that one. Then let's go ahead and do the growth marketer one. Okay, this one has only a few conversations, but that's okay. Let's give it a shot. Okay, and let's start with these and say, let's do this. I'm going to grab the second brain GPT and I'm going to say, give me 3 content ideas that I can turn into tutorials this week. One for LinkedIn, one for YouTube, one for Instagram. That doesn't really make sense. Give me 3 content ideas I can turn into posts / videos this week. That's a little better. Makes a little more sense. Okay, so it's going to give me some thinking. Why LinkedIn, why it's suggesting what it's suggesting for LinkedIn, why it's suggesting what it's suggesting for YouTube and Instagram. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of interesting, actually. The 3 most underrated skills no one taught you in school: managing your energy, learning in public, and asymmetrical decision making. It's interesting. On YouTube, I tried blank for 7 days. Here's what worked. Okay, a little clickbaity. And then Instagram. This 15-second shift changed my entire morning routine and my brain. That's a good hook. I like that hook. Okay, so now let's go over here to the growth marketer, and let's try the same. And then we'll make the same change to the prompt. Okay, interesting. So it assumes I'm also a growth marketer, founder, or creator, which is cool. Good assumption. So LinkedIn posts, the growth tactic that 10x our leads, not authentic. I am about to launch my product. It hasn't launched yet, so that one wouldn't work. I spent $1,000 on ads. Here's what actually worked. That's a fun one in the future. People love like seeing how other people spent money and what the outcome of it was. 3 marketing psychology hacks you're not using but should be. Okay, I mean, interesting. So out of these 2 GPTs, right, that are like built for marketing or promotion or being a second thought brain, you got a couple of decent ideas, but essentially, these are GPTs. And so there's like really popular ones like Write for Me, Astrology Birth Chart GPT. You give it your birthday and it answers astrology related questions for you. I mean, okay, it's kind of interesting. Monday is annoying. If you want to see a funny thing, watch. Let's go mess with Monday real quick. Um, can you come? Or actually, you know what? Let's just drop that same prompt into Monday. And so, like when most AIs are friendly, Monday is moody. Look at 3 platforms, 3 ideas. Try not to mess this up. 3 things I learned from failing is something I was sure I'd nail. Humble brag in disguise. So Monday is like a sarcastic AI. It will not give you serious answers. If you want to be a LinkedIn lunatic, this is a funny thing for you to use. But anyways, let's go ahead and move on. I'm gonna go back to the main chat here, and next feature we're gonna talk about is the canvas. And so the canvas is actually an interactive space. A lot of people don't know it exists inside of ChatGPT. Actually, I have seen a lot of people not using this. I mean, to be honest, I see most people just kind of use ChatGPT like a search engine, right? But anyways, so let's map a content strategy using Canvas. And so that's the creative space. I want 3 types of posts, each for tutorials, thought leadership, and personal brand. 3 things I'm working on. Lay them out visually so I can drag, drop, and remix them. So the canvas is a creative space. I've actually never done this before to see if I can like drag and drop things in there, but I'm curious to see what happens. Okay, so now boom, canvas pops out. It starts putting things here inside of the canvas. Okay, so I cannot drag and drop the canvas like I asked, but I can go ahead and edit it. I can go ahead and copy it. There is a version history. I can download it and I can share it. And so if I am creating things in the canvas that I then feel compelled to share with others, I can do it. Or if I want to keep this material and keep the rich text formatting, like let's say that I wanted to drop this all into a document. Let me go ahead and just open up Word real quick and let me show you this. So we can download this as a doc, right? And then we can open it up and boom, look at that, right inside of Word. All the formatting, right? All the markdown, all the emoji, everything is maintained. And so this is a beautiful way to create simple documents really quickly. Professional documents that you're going to have to use for work or for school or whatever. So Canvas is a super underrated place. And then what's really cool is like I can go ahead and like delete portions out, right? And then I could come back to the conversation and say, I deleted the last section. I didn't like it. Please try again. Now, if in real life I would be way more specific than this, but now you're gonna see like, you didn't like what I did. Let me go ahead and redo this for you. And so then it regenerates the entirety of the canvas for me. Now, keep that in mind, okay? That's one downside, is I have found that the canvas always entirely regenerates. And so if you'd like to keep material to persist, you have to take it out and put it in a Word doc or a note or something else. Because if you go and tell ChatGPT to make a change in the canvas, it will start entirely over. And sometimes, unfortunately, it will not maintain the things that you liked while making the changes. It will rewrite some of those things. So So use the canvas kind of as an intermediary, a back and forth place for you to be pulling information out of and putting information into. Don't keep it as your single source of truth or your only workspace. You will encounter pain that way, okay? Okay. Um, let's go ahead, close the canvas down, and let's talk about the next thing. Vision. So ChatGPT can analyze images, not videos yet, not videos yet, but it can analyze images. And so if we add a photo, I made a YouTube cover for a playlist this morning. If I were to ask it to give me some feedback, right? Here's a screenshot of my YouTube thumbnail. What can be approved? Suggest ways to boost CTR. Okay, so obviously change some font sizes. Could definitely go a long way. Start from scratch. Like the caps everywhere feels shouty. Okay. More intrigue, less literal. Okay. Background depth, and then obviously A/B testing. So funny, I have a tool called TubeBuddy, which does allow A/B testing. It is something I have not engaged in yet, but it is something that I would like to engage in. And so you can see here, right? It visualized, like visually looked at the image, and then broke down what I asked it to in the prompt, piece by piece by piece. So you could do this with other things too. Like why don't we do this? Let's go to I don't know. Let's just go to like school.com. And then here, this is actually, oh, okay, cool. It went right to my little community, Prompt and Profit. So what if we grab this, right? Come over to ChatGPT, grab this and say, analyze this landing page for me. How could... And so obviously this is a little community homepage. It doesn't have much customizability. It's really a way for us to all have conversation and help each other with questions. But, you know, I just wanted to give an example here so you could see, oh, what's solid? Okay, what has to improve? Your first post needs a hook. Credibility and social proof. There's only 3 members so far, right? I just started it last night. Come on, don't be a hater. Action, focus, nav, and then quick win. So I'm not going to go through this because it wasn't a serious thing. I'm not actually trying to rip apart that page. I just wanted you to see another example of how the vision of ChatGPT is there, is strong, and can help you analyze things in a visual way. Okay. Next one, we're going to use connections and tools. So if you look here, you can see there's search the web, there's run deep research. I only have 18 uses of deep research left because I'm on the plus plan. I think you get like 25 per month. I tend to use it a lot. I really love expanding my mind and understanding new concepts. And so we run deep research with ChatGPT probably once a day at least. And then I want to go here real fast into the settings because there's also connectors, right? And so you have the tools in the front end, and then you have the connectors in the back end. So I have my ChatGPT connected to Canva, GitHub, Gmail, Google Calendar, and Google Drive. Now, it uses all those things in research. In doing research, okay? You can see here, deep research, deep research, deep research. There's a couple other tools that you can connect. I didn't connect those. This is a brand new tab I haven't seen before. Schedule. It doesn't even work, so it's probably going to get filled in soon. But anyways, coming back here, let's go ahead and use some of those connectors and push deep research. I think here's an interesting pitch that I have, or I'm sorry, interesting prompt that I have. I've been creating a pitch deck for my startup Seek. And so this is an interesting prompt in using the tools, right? Let's run deep research. Let's have web search. Let's have my Gmail. Let's have my Drive. We don't need GitHub. Canva is probably not going to help us here. And then see again how it can connect to other things. So if you have like a HubSpot or emails or team conversations or whatever, you can also leverage those. So let's go ahead. We turned on research. We turned on web. We have Gmail. We have Drive, just so it pulls my context as well. And then let's go ahead and start that research. Now, research takes a little while. Okay, well, wait. It has questions for me. Okay, so let's answer those. 1, let's do tech. 2, early stage, for sure. And then would you like the comparison? 3, let's do efficacy in funding. Okay. All right, here we go. So now we answered the questions. Now it's going to kick off the research. And as I was saying, you have a progress bar here, but research will take a long time. It's going to take anywhere from 8 to like 30 minutes, depending on the topic, depending on the amount of sources, depending on the amount of connections. And so what you can do here is you can click on the research box and you can see the research progress happening in the sidebar. Now, instead of us doing that, I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to start a new conversation and move on to the next topic, and then we can come back and look at the research in a little while. So let's go ahead and kick off a new chat. Don't worry, the research will continue. You don't have to be looking at that chat. It will keep going. So the next thing I want us to do is look at file uploads and code or data interpretation. Now, I could upload an HTML file or a JS file or a whatever, and it could interpret that code, and it could tell me things about that code. I think for most people, what's a little more interesting is data. Not all of us deal with code, but a lot of us deal with data. And so I'm going to go ahead and add a file here, which is a creator earnings sample CSV. This is not real data. These names might look familiar, but this is not real data. This is just bullshit that I had ChatGPT make up for the purpose of this demo. So what we'll do now is we can ask the ChatGPT to do some analysis for us, okay, and use the canvas. And so let me go ahead and put in this prompt, analyze the data, which travel experiences had the highest engagement, which ones are underperforming, visualize this in a quick chart. Which platforms had the highest engagement or sales, and which ones are underperforming? Let's do that. So we give it the data, we give it the prompt, it's going to kick off some Python, which is a coding language, and it's going to begin doing the analysis on the data. Now, you don't have to understand what any of this means. I don't understand what any of this means. But what I do understand is how the output works. Okay, and so check it out. Top performing platforms, YouTube and TikTok. Well, that's interesting. TikTok outperforming YouTube. I mean, I guess it's just dummy data. Don't get too wrapped up in that. And then LinkedIn towards other. Okay, and so now let's do this. Break it down by creator share. And so now we'll see different creators on the different platforms and what their shares of those earnings were. Okay, and so now you can see here creator name and their share of earnings based on the platform, right? And then it gives you some like key takeaways. All tech tips heavily relying on YouTube. Build with Ben has balanced. AI with Ash lean towards Patreon, right? It's all made up, but you get the idea of how suddenly, like, I didn't even open that data. I didn't even look at that data. I didn't have to sit there and try and create pivot tables and transformations and all that. I just was like, here's the data. Tell me the things. I think it's a huge win for us. And so I think let's go back and check on our research. Okay. So you can see it's going through stuff here, mapping out pitch deck designs, working through the differences in 24 and 25 pitch decks, exploring TechCrunch's pitch deck tear down series, right? He's going to skip this. He's examining this, considering shifting emphasis on this. It's really, really cool, the research feature. And so I'm going to go ahead and just let this finish up. We'll use the magic of post-processing to get through this, and I'll be right back as soon as it's done. Okay, so the research finished, and we are back with all the research here. Now, the research is long. It's very, very long. You can see here. And there's a lot of links. Like all these little things, these are all links. And so I really just wanted to kind of show you the feature and how thorough it is. But I think that's going to wrap up today's video. Like, we saw ChatGPT as a strategist. We saw it as a designer. We saw it as a researcher. We saw it as a planner and a little bit of creative director. I think my big point today was most people use ChatGPT like a search engine. They don't upload a file. They don't mess with the canvas. They're not having it do analyzation. There is so much it can do. And so stop using it like a chatbot. Start using it like a Swiss Army knife, and it's going to up-level your abilities. All right? That's it from me for today, you guys. Much love. Drop comments down below. Check the description for all the links. Go join my little community. Help me get more than 3 members. Much love, you guys. I'll talk to you in the next one.